Welcome, ghost hunters, to the spine-chilling journey through the most haunted locations in Texas. Today, we'll uncover the eerie tales, restless spirits, and ghostly apparitions that make the Lone Star State a hub for paranormal activity. From historic battlegrounds to haunted hotels, each stop on our tour has its own unique and haunting story to tell. So, grab your EMF detectors, steady your nerves, and join us as we delve into the haunted heart of Texas. Okay, first stop, the Alamo. This place is steeped in history and teeming with paranormal activity. Countless eyewitness accounts of shadowy figures, whispers of battle cries, and full-bodied apparitions of fallen soldiers. Some say these are the restless spirits of those who fought and died defending this iconic landmark. One particularly chilling tale comes from a park ranger who swears he saw the ghost of Davy Crockett himself. And let's not forget the countless visitors who've reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, sudden drops in temperature, and disembodied voices whispering their names. The Alamo, a place of courage, sacrifice, and apparently, a whole lot of ghostly activity. Next up, we're venturing into the heart of Austin, to a place where luxury meets the afterlife, the Driscoll Hotel. This grand old dame has seen it all, from presidents to celebrities, and yes, even a ghost or two. Built in 1886 by cattle baron Jesse Driscoll, the hotel has become a favorite haunt for spirits with a taste for the finer things in death. Guests claim to smell his cigar smoke wafting through the halls or catch glimpses of a distinguished figure in a cowboy hat. There's also the tale of the two brides who took their own lives in the same room, decades apart. Their spirits are said to haunt the fourth floor, their heartbroken sobs echoing through the corridors. And if you're really lucky, you might just bump into the mischievous ghost of a young girl who loves to play pranks on guests. Just another day at the Driscoll, I guess. 3. Now, if you're looking for a truly unsettling experience, look no further than Yorktown Memorial Hospital. This abandoned medical facility is not for the faint of heart, folks. We're talking about a place where countless souls passed on, and some, it seems, never quite checked out. Paranormal investigators have flocked to this site, drawn in by the spine-chilling stories and the sheer volume of paranormal activity reported within its decaying walls. EVP recordings capture disembodied voices, shadowy figures dart through darkened corridors, and cold spots send shivers down your spine. Visitors have reported seeing apparitions of nurses and patients, still going about their daily routines as if trapped in a time loop of suffering. One particularly harrowing tale speaks of a malevolent entity that resides in the operating room, where countless lives were lost. Number 4. The Grove in Jefferson, where history whispers through the trees. Let's take a step back from the hospitals and hotels for a moment, shall we? Don't worry, we're not going soft on you. Our next stop is the Grove, a historic plantation in Jefferson, Texas, with a history as rich as it is haunted. This stately mansion has stood for over 160 years, witnessing the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and tragedies of generations past. The Grove is best known for the apparition of a former resident, Miss Di. She's not your typical scary ghost, though. Think of her more like the eccentric aunt who never left the attic. She's been known to move things around, whisper to guests, and even tuck people in at night. Visitors have reported disembodied voices, cold spots, and the feeling of being watched. Some even claim to have seen the ghost of a young boy who drowned in the nearby bayou. And then there's the matter of the phantom piano music that drifts from the parlor, even though the piano hasn't been tuned in decades. Just a little something to think about the next time you're considering a weekend getaway at a charming historic mansion. Number 5. Baker Hotel. A grand, ghostly resort. Get ready to check into the Baker Hotel, a once grand resort now frozen in time and rumored to be crawling with restless spirits. This place has seen better days, folks. We're talking peeling paint, crumbling walls, and an air of melancholy that hangs heavy in the air. The Baker Hotel was once the place to be, attracting celebrities and socialites from all over. But like all good parties, it eventually came to an end, and the hotel fell into disrepair. Now, it's said to be home to a whole host of ghosts, each with their own story to tell. There's the heartbroken spirit of a young woman who threw herself from the roof after being jilted at the altar. Guests claim to hear her mournful cries echoing through the empty halls. Number 6. Presidio La Bahia, where history haunts the living. Hold on to your hats, history buffs, because we're stepping back in time to Presidio La Bahia. This Spanish fort has stood for centuries, bearing witness to countless battles, sieges, and struggles for power. The fort is said to be haunted by the spirits of Spanish soldiers who fought and died within its walls. Visitors have reported hearing the clash of swords, the roar of cannons, and the agonizing cries of fallen warriors. Some even claim to have seen full-bodied apparitions of soldiers, still patrolling their posts as if on duty centuries later. One particularly chilling tale involves the ghost of a young woman who was imprisoned within the fort's dungeon. Legend has it that she was accused of witchcraft and brutally tortured before being left to die a slow and agonizing death. Alright, who's up for some spooky spaghetti? Next up, number 7, we're venturing into the heart of Houston to the Spaghetti Warehouse, a restaurant where the paranormal is always on the menu. This place has a side of spookiness with its unlimited breadsticks. The building itself has a long and storied past, having served as everything from a pharmacy to a warehouse before being transformed into the Italian eatery it is today. Guests and employees alike have reported a whole host of strange occurrences, from phantom footsteps and disembodied voices to objects moving on their own and even full-bodied apparitions. One of the most well-known ghosts is said to be that of a former employee who died in a tragic accident. He's been spotted in his old work clothes, still going about his duties as if nothing has changed. Diners have also reported seeing the ghost of a young girl who roams the second floor, her laughter echoing through the dining area. Number 8. The Menger Hotel, where ghosts check in and never leave. Get ready to check into the Menger Hotel, a San Antonio landmark with a history as grand as its ghost stories. The Menger is said to be one of the most haunted hotels in all of Texas, with a whole host of resident spirits who like to make their presence known. One of the most famous is Sally White, a chambermaid who was tragically murdered in the hotel in 1876. Guests claim to see her apparition still tidying up rooms, her spectral feather duster leaving no cobweb unturned. But Sally's not the only one haunting the halls. There's also the ghost of a young boy who drowned in the hotel's swimming pool, and the spirit of a former guest who was so smitten with the Menger that he decided to check out permanently. Number 9. The Marfa Lights, a Texas-sized mystery in the desert. Now for something a little different. We're heading out to the vast and desolate expanse of West Texas, to a place where the stars aren't the only things that twinkle in the night sky. Get ready to be baffled by the Marfa Lights, a phenomenon that has mystified and intrigued people for generations. Imagine this. You're driving through the desert at night, the only sound the wind whistling through the mesquite trees. And then, in the distance, you see them. Strange, unexplained lights dancing on the horizon. Whatever their origin, the Marfa Lights continue to draw visitors from far and wide, all hoping to catch a glimpse of the unexplained. Number 10. The Jefferson Hotel, where every room has a story and a ghost. Our final stop on this ghostly road trip takes us back to Jefferson, Texas, to the historic Jefferson Hotel. The Jefferson Hotel is said to be one of the most actively haunted locations in all of Texas. Guests and staff have reported a whole host of paranormal activity, from disembodied voices and phantom footsteps to objects moving on their own and even full-bodied apparitions. One of the most well-known ghosts is that of a former guest who died in his sleep while staying at the hotel. Then there's the ghost of a young girl who drowned in the bathtub, and the spirit of a former employee who still roams the halls, making sure everything is in order. Outro. Until next time, ghost hunters. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of some of Texas's most haunted locations. So, the next time you're feeling brave and adventurous, Why not plan your own ghostly road trip through the Lone Star State? Just don't forget to pack your EMF reader and a healthy dose of skepticism.